Once again, it's time for our weekly interview with Augustana hockey head coach Garrett Raboin, and we will start with one of your assistants. It was announced earlier this week. Chad Demers will be taking some time off following brain surgery. If you know anything about Chad, you know about his battles with brain cancer over the years. Just a quick comment on losing one of your assistants for a little period of time.
Well, it's first of all, with Chad, what an incredible person and just inspiring for our group. And in the hockey world, you get so wrapped up in your team and in the sport and competing, but it's moments like these where it puts everything into perspective. And there's more important things: life, family, health, and he's got to look after his health. And we're going to miss him while he's away. We're certainly praying for him. And just really looking forward to the day he joins our group again.
Absolutely. One of the good guys. If you missed it a little bit earlier, we did a Midco Sports Magazine piece on Chad back when he was with the Fargo Force a couple years ago. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Brian Shaw did an excellent job with Chad. And as you said, we wish him nothing but the best, both on and off the ice. Switching specifically to hockey now, you were off last weekend. You had said after the wins against Bowling Green that, it's time to get back to work. It's time to make sure that we make ourselves better. How did practice go last week?
It was good, and we were able to get some stuff in. Obviously, there's time to rest and let our guys get focused on their academics. So we had midterms, so we asked them to focus on that first. But there was value in the week. We felt like we got something out of it, and now we're back finally to a game week.
Absolutely. You got two games this weekend, both in Colorado. You start off on Friday against Denver. Denver won it all a couple years ago. They're number 2 in the polls, just a perennial national championship contender. It's going to be a very big challenge on Friday.
Yeah, and they're one of the top teams in the country. I think they're at number 2 this week. But still early on, the focus is a lot on us right now, and we're just trying to continue to get better.
And David Carl, the head coach for Denver, you'll be joining forces here in a couple months when you coach the World Juniors in Sweden. Just tell me a little bit about your relationship with Coach Carl.
Well, David was one of those guys as he came up as a hockey player at Shattuck St. Mary's. I was actually one of the captains at St. Cloud and hosted his visit. And then, he was drafted, had some health issues that prevented him from playing anymore, but got into coaching right away. He was at Green Bay and then to Denver, and just one of the rising superstars in coaching. Already has a national championship, now a World Junior head coach. Fortunate, one of those good guys. Anytime you're around him, there's value and excited for his future.
Yeah, kind of cool to see how the connections have lasted after all these years.
Absolutely, and we kind of came up together in a sense, and he's just continued to do so well. And just like I said, it's just so bright for where he's going to go in the sport.
So you got Denver on Friday night. You turn it around Saturday night. You're at Colorado College, another NCHC opponent. I don't know how much you've looked at them yet, but what do you see when you look at the Tigers?
They're a team that continues to get better. Ever since Chris Mayotte took over, they've just continued to grow their program. The excellent players. They play a very detailed brand of hockey, and in the NCHC, I think they're going to be one of the contenders.
So you talked about the practice this week in terms of getting better. Just in your experience as both a player and an assistant coach, when you have a weekend off, how do you take that momentum from those wins a couple weeks ago? How does that manifest into these upcoming games?
Oh, I mean, you never really know. I think it depends on what point of the season you're at. It's still so early. So it was very much a developmental week for us. And we'll see. Our guys feel good about their game, but our ask is that they approach, just like they have all year, approach our practice and just work and focus, live in the moment. And, when we get to Colorado, we'll see.
And last thing I'll ask you, even though you're not looking ahead too far, this is the first of 3 consecutive weekends on the road for you, just the byproduct of the scheduling. Have you ever experienced anything like that, having multiple weekends in a row on the road? And if not, how do you kind of prepare for that type of travel and practice schedule?
I have. We're just going to have to monitor their rest and their energy. But it's where we are with building a rink in a new program. So we're going to have to be on the road, but we're going to have to lean into it. It's going to be great to show off Augustana all over the country, and we still get a chance to compete on Friday and Saturday night.